Another name that often surfaces in discussions about the Zodiac case is Richard Gaikowski. Gaikowski was a journalist who worked for Good Times, a San Francisco newspaper known for its counterculture perspective during the late 1960s. While the publication frequently criticized law enforcement and used provocative language, it was the timing and tone of some of its content that later drew attention from amateur investigators and certain researchers. In January 1969, Good Times published articles containing aggressive and, at times, cryptic language. Around that same period, the Zodiac mailed 3 letters to 3 different newspapers, each containing 1/3 of a cipher. The coincidence in timing raised eyebrows among those studying the case. A few months later, Good Times printed its own 3-part code in separate issues. Some observers felt this mirrored the Zodiac's pattern of communication. Additionally, the paper occasionally used the phrase Zodiac Killer in headlines without clear context, something that struck some readers as unusual. In 1969, Gaikowski reportedly began using shortened versions of his name, such as Geike or Gaik, in print. That same year, one Zodiac cipher included the letters Jaik. Some researchers have pointed out the similarity in spelling, suggesting it could be meaningful, though others argue it may simply be coincidence. It's important to note that Gaikowski was not identified as a potential suspect until nearly 2 decades after the Zodiac's known crimes. By that time, collecting physical evidence such as fingerprints would have required legal authorization or cooperation, and no charges were ever filed against him. Some have also observed that Gaikowski was diagnosed with a mental health condition during a period when Zodiac communications temporarily stopped. Later, when the letters resumed, he had begun working at a local theater. To some, these overlapping timelines appeared noteworthy, but timelines alone are not proof. Detective Ken Narlow, who examined Gaikowski as a potential suspect, ultimately did not gather enough evidence to justify an arrest or search warrant. No forensic evidence publicly linked Gaikowski to the crimes. Like many names associated with the Zodiac mystery, Richard Gaikowski remains part of the broader discussion, a figure connected through patterns, timing, and speculation rather than definitive proof. And decades later, the Zodiac case remains officially unsolved, leaving questions that continue to invite debate, but not conclusions.